Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Eli, the real estate guy, and you've already seen the title of this video and you see the thumbnail of this video, so you already know what we're speaking about. Today, we're going to be going over estimating repair costs whenever you are wholesaling a property. But before we go ahead and get started, go ahead and like this video right now if it's providing you any value. I know a lot of you guys was waiting on this video, so go ahead and like this video and subscribe, because this is going to help a ton of people. Okay, so like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you're notified of whenever I'm posting additional videos, and also share this with someone, because I know someone else needs to watch this video, because this is one of the parts that really scare people here when it comes to wholesaling. Okay, now right now year's 2021 and it is August at the moment, and so these are the price points that I go off of in the Houston market. Now every market varies, but this is a good foundational point for you to get where the prices are, and then compare that to what investors would say as well when it comes to repair costs. Something that's very important. All right, just because something is not damaged does not mean that it doesn't need to be replaced. So, perfect example, a kitchen may have been from 1972. Perfect condition, but it's from 1972. So do not skip the kitchen and say, oh, the kitchen's in perfect shape, doesn't need to be repaired. The whole kitchen needs to be redone. Okay, so these are some things to keep in mind as you're doing your repair costs. Right, I'm telling you this because I've gone through similar situations before, and I went through a kitchen. I'm like, oh, the kitchen's perfectly fine. And when it came down to it, investors would come in and be like, no way, you need to redo the kitchen. I'm like, where's the damage? I was like, the whole kitchen is a problem. So, trial and error, and I've gone through those mistakes so that you don't have to go through those. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, now I have a range that I'm doing here, and this is based off of a house that's between 1,500 square feet and on the other end is where you get the larger numbers. So it varies on how damaged an item is, and also size. So when I'm giving you these, I want you to really think about what that actually is when it comes to the numbers. And for simplicity purposes, I'll go ahead and put these numbers down in the comment section, not the comment section, the description section, so that you can go through these numbers yourself and apply that to the appointments that you're doing. All right, so first we're gonna start off with the roof. All right, with the roof needing to be replaced, I have that on a low end, 7,000, high end, I have it at 12,000 for the regular shingles. This isn't the clay tiles, this isn't the Spanish tile situation, this is just standard asphalt shingles, okay? So I have that between 7,000 and 12. A bit of information for you guys. If the roof itself is in good condition, and the way that you can tell is if you're seeing a bunch of shiny spots, needs to be replaced. If shingles are missing, you could put in for a repair, but I'll put in for a replacement. And also, roofs usually last between 25 to 30 years. Sometimes you have 20-year roofs, but for the most part, 25 to 30 years. In hotter climates, it tends to be closer to that 20 mark because of the heat that is pounding on the roofs all day. But definitely, if you call someone and they're like, oh yeah, my roof's 27 years old, but it's in perfect condition, it needs to be replaced. Okay, so I have that 7 to 12. Next, carpet. I have it at $1.50 per square foot. Now, of course, there's going to be people here that's going to say, oh man, but this carpet and that carpet, and that your number's low or hot, whatever. I have it at $1.50 per square foot, and at the end, I'll tie it all in together and it will make sense. But as far as carpet, I put it in at $1.50 per square foot. And when I say per square foot, I'm talking about I multiply that by the entire square footage of the house. The way that you're able to do that is by going on Zillow, looking up that house, and it'll tell you the square footage of it. All right, and there are many other websites like Zillow, like Redfin, and these other websites. I use Zillow to get that square footage, or you could use the county website and it will tell you the square footage of the property. So that's what I base that carpet off of. A lot of people are doing the tile and laminate floors, which brings me to my next one. I would say about $2 a square foot. Okay, now there's more expensive, there's cheaper ones, but again, It ties all in at the bottom. Okay. Next, paint, whether it's interior or exterior. I have it at $1.50 per square foot. Okay. These are just rough numbers that I'm doing, but I have it at $1.50 per square foot. Even if they say, oh, you just need to repaint the kitchen, just put it in for the entire home. And something I want you to really think about. As we're doing this and as I start going through these ranges, I want you to be a little bit higher than what you think the repairs are going to be. So if you're factoring in, okay, well, $1.50 per square foot and the square footage of the house is X amount based on this, the total cost should be about, $2,000, dollars or $2,100, whatever dollars. I'll just go ahead and round it up and say, okay, well, $3,000 for the floor. All right, just round to that next $1,000 just so that you can start creating that buffer, okay? Because as you are giving numbers to these investors, you want to be the one to where they look at your numbers and they're like, oh, all right, well, I know I could probably get the repairs done for a little cheaper than what he's saying. But so whenever I get an email from this guy, I know to, of course, do my own due diligence, but I know his numbers and his numbers are usually a little higher. All right. I know his estimate for what the ARV is, and his ARV is usually a little lower than what I can actually do. So as long as you're conservative as you are presenting these numbers to these investors, they'll love you. All right. So that's something to keep in mind. So next, foundation. I have between 5 to 20,000. All right. The reason why it is that range 5 to 20,000 because it could just be one crack that's in one room, or it could just be a crack that's all the way down the whole house, right? So I put a range between 5 to 20,000, depending on the severity of the damage of the foundation. Next, 5 to 7,000 for the AC. All right. Now, AC's cost varies, but this is per AC unit. So if it's just one that needs to be replaced, then 5 to 7,000. If it's two, then you're talking about 10 to 14,000, per unit. So is what I mark those down as. Next, plumbing, 5 to 8,000. And the way that you would do that is you ask them, okay, well, in this 50-year-old home, have you ever replaced the plumbing? No, I haven't. Okay. Well, based on the square footage, between 5 to 8,000. On the low end, 1,500 and below as far as the square footage. On the higher end, it could go from 8, sometimes even more, but I put 5 to 8 because usually I'm not dealing with houses that are 3,000, 5,000 square feet. So the most I'll go is probably the high 2,000, maybe mid 2,000, so 2,500 square feet or so. So those are my ranges for the numbers. All right, next, kitchen. All right, now back when I was giving you that example of the kitchen, if it's an older kitchen, even if it's in perfect condition, if it's an older kitchen, an old-fashioned kitchen, it needs to be replaced. All right, and the range that I do for that is $5,000 to $7,000 for the kitchen. Okay, so keep in mind, it doesn't matter if it's a crappy kitchen or if it's a perfect condition kitchen. If it's old, then it needs to be repaired. Okay, and even if it's new and it's terrible and they have all that damage to it, replace it. All right, because one of the biggest factors that you have to remember is three of the biggest selling points, curb appeal, kitchen, and bathrooms. All right. So you want to make sure that you're accounting for those big expenses that need to be done. And now some of you guys may have this question. Well, I've already accounted for the paint. I've already accounted for the floors. There's paint and floors in the kitchen. Do I subtract? Don't subtract it. All right. Because remember, you're trying to build up that estimate so it can make sense for an investor. All right. Next up, bathrooms. All right. Between 4 to 6,000. All right. If the bathroom is cool, you just need to touch up things here and there, you can go 4, maybe slightly lower, but I tend to stick to 4 to 6. That way you have a good range for what needs to happen. And again, you'll have other people, and I'm going to keep saying this, you'll have people say that, man, I can get a bathroom done for $1,500. Great. All right. Do an estimate SS4. The reason why you want to do that is because you want to build that buffer, which brings me to that next line item that says cushion. Okay. You want to have a cushion of about 5 to 10,000. The reason why you do that is because it's going to account for all the things that was missed. Like you got to replace a window, you got to do this, additional costs you factor in. Oh, the garage motor has to be replaced. Oh, it looks like there's some caulking that has to be done here. Looks like you got to replace the window beading. Looks like you got to replace this vent. This thing's not the coastal. That's why you have that range of that 5 to 10,000. So after you factor in all those repairs, you put an additional 5 to 10,000. Depending on how bad the house actually looks, okay? If the house is great, everything's cool, just a couple touch-ups here and there, 5,000. The house is beat up, has a lot of things that's going on with it, and you already accounted for all these repairs, I'd go closer to 10,000. Rarely do I use that 10,000 number. It's usually somewhere around 5 to 7, but 5 to 10,000 is the range that I do for the cushion, all right? Now, once you go through all that, all right, and I'm putting it in that section that's below. Once you go through all that, you add all that up, and that's what you would apply to your cash offer, okay? Now, I'm gonna make another video that discusses how to create those two formulas, but of course, everyone has heard of that 70% of ARV minus the repairs, which is what we're calculating, minus your assignment fee, and that's what your offer will be, or your max allowable offer, okay? But I have some other formulas that will make things a lot more competitive for you, okay? So definitely subscribe to this channel so that you are aware of when that video is available. And depending on when you're watching this video, it may already be out, okay? So go ahead and watch at the end of this video. There's gonna be a couple videos at the end. Those will also be very helpful for you. And if you have any questions about what I went over today, go ahead and put those questions below in the comment section. And if there's anything that you want me to cover, go ahead and put that down below as well. Again, this is Eli, the real estate guy, and like this video and subscribe to this video so that you are notified of whenever we're having another video. And I go over all these videos that I'm doing here, especially when we're talking about wholesaling. I go over this in my ebook, Wholesaling 101, Your First Steps, okay? So if you have any questions about this, you can go into the ebook and just read this section over and over and over again and get a better understanding as to why these numbers are the way that they are and how would you be able to present an offer to a seller. All right, so thank y'all so much for watching this video. And again, put a comment below and just let me know what you thought about this video and what questions you have about wholesaling. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.